Alright, so if I recall correctly, this is the part where we had to kill the Eviscerator, the third Exterminator, which means
Okay,
our road to Ace Hardlight is close enough. Yes, Dibs?
okay. I know that's meant to be the engine, but it also looks like the ship's on fire with that kind of graphic.
Yeah, it's the back reactor that just... Also, this place has an Ace Hardlight statue, probably more of a merchandising.
You know, it's funny. For all the stuff that this story talks about merchandising, I don't recall there really being actual merchandise for Deadlocked.
No, it's not, well, to be fair, Joe, it's part of the Satire in universe, you know.
I mean, that would
True,
be a
true,
bit of a
true.
critical if they did that.
But I'm
Or,
pretty sure that by this point in time, the Ratchet and Clank series was popular enough that there were actual toys of it.
let me put it this way, Joe, I respected the decision to not take advantage of that, in case.
I mean,
Yeah.
that'd be like if, I mean, that'd be like if a Pokemon game had a whole side quest about people exploiting merchandising Pokemon, and then it has like a massive merchandising campaign in real life.
Oh, Dweebs, well, okay, not Pokemon, but do you mean like when the Lorax movie actually had a tie commercial to fucking Toyota cars?
That was a thing.
Like,
Look,
Talk about
when
not paying attention.
like, I take it they weren't even Toyota's electric cars.
Not even close.
Yeah.
look. Even as somebody who likes the Lorax movie, yeah, no, the advertising, like, okay, I'll say this. It's not automatically bad if something that says that, over marketing or, like, just doing 2-bit marketing does marketing itself. Because you know what? Look, I get it. A lot of this stuff, the merchandise is how a franchise can make money and stay afloat and whatnot. I get it. I will say, though, the Lorax takes it a step far by doing some of the worst marketing you could think of. Like, toys would be one thing, but they specifically chose one of the most gas-oriented cars for the Lorax to tie in. Holy cow. That's like tying in, like, flamethrowers being marketed by Fern Gully.
Yeah.
Or something like, say, IKEA
Well-
furniture.
Here's the thing, Joe, but technically you can point that out at Fern Gully because, yes, they talk about how we need to save the trees, but how many trees were destroyed to create the paper used to animate that movie?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'd say to their credit, computers weren't that high in usage for film, so
Okay,
they really wanted
yes
to get
and
the
no.
message out.
Okay, I don't know exactly who started it, but I do remember, because me, Pedro, and Deji saw it recently, that the first Balto movie made kind of a big deal that it was one of the first animated movies to be digitally colored, so they wouldn't actually waste paper. And Ferngully was kind of released around the same year, though, so...
I want to give Ferngully some credit, though. Like, yeah, Balto had brought that in, but some people were skeptical of the practice, and... Again, I want to be fair that technically that was the norm of how movies were made at the time, paper to that. So maybe they saw it as a worthy sacrifice. Now, mind you, I am not saying that you cannot make fun of the movie for that. By all means, the fact that the movie was not good kind of lays into the fact that, yes, that was indeed a waste of paper. I just want to try and be a bit fair. Mind you, I'd be more fair if the movie had actually been good. It's like, but hey, I guess for some people, it did give us Tim Curry singing about toxic love.
Yeah, wanting to have sex with a machine. Like,
You
my
know
God.
they missed the mark when that's the thing people liked the most about the movie. The bad guy who's all about pollution.
But Teo, according to David Cage, in the future, strip clubs will be nothing but androids. So...
Again, it's part of the whole taking the ideas of stuff like iRobot, as in the book iRobot, and going for the extreme. Because yes, I can believe for a sci-fi scenario that would be a natural conclusion in order to actually prevent the potential harm to actual human beings, and obviously that will reflect when inevitably robots gaining sapience happens. But as usual, David Cage conveyed that badly, sadly. Anyway,
Do you think?
just to mention
Sorry.
I did like that the mission with the hoverbike. It was not too fast. You did not have a time limit. You just needed to kill the target. Nice and simple enough. Go on.
Do you think maybe Ferngully 2 had the right idea by not being as
No,
preachy about
Joba,
the whole nature thing?
I'm sad that we were not able to capture it, but Ferngully 2 is so disconnected and mindless in what he wants to do that when we arrived at the very end and Krista's brother, or cousin, I forgot the other character, basically does give the summation, Deji literally, got pissed off and said, "Shut the fuck up."
Oh, I really wish I'd been there or gotten a recording of that. But yeah, no, like, and I'll admit, as a kid, I actually saw Ferngully 2 before the first one because it was one of the movies that the teacher
Joba,
picked out for us to watch.
I almost got my parents to buy the VHS of that, and I don't know why that it compelled me to actually ask them about it. Thank God it was one of the occasions where they said no.
Maybe the animation and characters.
No,
appealed
it
to you or
was
something.
probably the cover of the VHS. It might have been that.
That reminds me, isn't Ferngully now technically a Disney movie?
As I mentioned a couple of times, but the rights were actually given away in 2022 to an independent movie distribution studio.
What a pity. We could have had Tinkerbell reunite with her long-lost sister from Australia. But no. But, like, I mean, I saw Ferngully 2 before the original. I'll admit, the two are so different. I honestly, until I saw the Nostalgia Critic review of the first movie, thought Ferngully 2 was the only Ferngully movie there was.
Yes, Pedro?
I mean, didn't the 2 in the title hint you that maybe there was another?
Okay, thing is, I saw it as a kid, and it was a time when just the teacher would pop in the VHS for us to watch, so I actually did not know the full proper name of that.
Okay, see, me, Deji, and Teo saw the movie recently, so I have it fresh in my mind. See, the thing is, that movie makes the main characters in that movie are so stupid. It makes them, like, the movie does...
You're talking about Ferngully 2 specifically, right?
Yes, Ferngully 2. They literally make the main, not just the main character, like all of the main characters seem like the most attention, like they have such a big attention disorder ever, because literally they get distracted from their mission by literally every single little thing, and it doesn't do a good job painting them in a positive light as the quote-unquote heroes.
What's wrong, Pedro? It's not like literal children are captured or whatnot while they're busy having fun or anything. Oh boy.
I take it I wouldn't enjoy that movie.
Not really.
Oh, no. Well, okay, it depends. If you're watching it to roast it, it is absolute. It is a smorgasbord of almost anything you can do wrong, not with just a sequel, but a movie in general.
Alright, get this. Now we need to actually blow up Ace Hardlight statue. Like, look,
is this them taking the feedback in mind?
I guess it would make sense for something that Clank will come up with for Ratchet to do, but the thing is that this is still Glim and Vox show. You think he would be kind of against, because at this point he's all about still promoting Ace Hardlight? I don't know.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, to spoil things ahead, I know, I'm sorry that I'm about to spoil you this Shakespearean plot, but after Ace Hardlight is killed, he's not the final boss. The game kinda has to continue for a bit, and Demon Vox wants to promote instead Ratchet. So if anything, a mission like this, a way to clean up the mess and, destroy the remnants of what Ace Hardlight had for merchandising, that would make sense. It's just that the placement is just wrong here.
Honestly, what I would have done is have it be that Ace... I'm sorry, what's the name of the manager?
Lehman Vox, the shark.
Yeah. If I were writing this, I would have had to be that as he notices that Ratchet is getting popular, he pretty much threatens Ace with outright replacing him, and this mission is used as like a warning for that. And this is what motivates Ace to want to kill Ratchet. But then it turns out Gleeman Vox was always planning to replace him at that point after we defeat Ace.
Again,
at least that's what I would have done.
It's clear that they want to have the satire angle, but at the same time, in order to have the story, make sense, I guess, they're keeping it as vague enough to try to keep the comedy on with questionable results, as we discovered a few parts ago. But
the thing I don't get is why is Vox so reluctant about marketing Ratchet?
he's really
like, if anything,
banking on Ace Hardlight, even when all circumstances tell him that no, it's not a good move.
like, you know what it feels
Again,
like?
sure,
His relations-
it reflects how a lot of TV executives keep making bad decisions because they believe not promoting a show, promoting what they want instead is what they believe will be successful, as we have seen, for example, with the cancellation of Doctor Who, for example. So I guess that's the angle we want to go, the stupidity of TV executives, even when it makes no sense.
Captain Starshield holds the all-time scoring record for this tournament.
Last week, we saw the spectacular deaths of leading contestants Agent Bizarro, Plasma Woman, and Orange Comet. Now, the low-seeded Lombax, known as Ratchet, has surged to the top of the Dread Zone rankings.
Frankly, I can't believe the little furball made it this far, Juanita. He is a scrappy sucker, huh, isn't he?
He certainly is, Dallas. He's also a threat to children,
Keep
endangered
that in mind.
species, and common decency.
Well, kids and dolphins and whatnot will be able to breathe a little easier once Ratchet has been cut down to size by the Eviscerator in this week's
Yeah, we're up
Exterminator
against this
Smackdown.
guy.
No opponent has survived even 60 seconds against his razor-sharp titanium blades.
I'll bet he doesn't have any trouble getting a close shave, Juanita. You get it?
Shut up, Dallas. You're not that funny.
Okay.
all right then.
Again, the banter between the two is usually fine, but the more you get to know about Dallas specifically, the less pleasant things are.
Since you asked, I have 16 terabits of tri-directional asynchronous bandwidth on my core CPU.
Ooh, that is
Clank.
throughput.
Wait, don't you have a
how did he
girlfriend waiting
manage
for
to-
you?
How did he
Nicholas,
manage to
I
score
will
even
call you right
here?
back.
My
Who
God.
was that?
Oh,
What is
nobody
it
really.
about?
Was
What
that
does he
the
have
tech droid
in
you were
terms of
talking
charisma?
about? Hey, did you get those blueprints?
Well, I am voiced by
Oh,
David
yeah,
King.
you the man.
But you see, Tia,
Well, I
remember,
have
he
learned
was
that
supposed
many
to be
other
big
heroes
and
are
bulky,
imprisoned
but
at this
clearly
facility.
they
We
compensated
must
that
help
with a
them,
ton of
Ratchet.
charisma that
Well,
they installed.
Oh, I
in the
get it.
girl.
He's not a shower, he's
I
a
have
grower.
noticed
Okay.
that the security monitors
Yeah.
tend to
Oh
show
God,
exactly-
Also,
he had said he's
also,
flipping
yeah.
through his model.
So
No,
Frank
it's not even just that. Like, I noticed,
buy you some
did you notice Ratchet's head jump cutting? Yeah, see? If you
Yeah,
pay attention,
again,
you can...
this has been a thing since the beginning, the whole jump
Yeah.
cutting.
I know.
every
I know.
single model.
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
like,
no-
seriously, I'm just trying to watch the cutscene and then suddenly go, ah.
And
Like,
the only
it's
problem
like
is-
it scares me.
And the problem is that it only happens because these are the one done in engine and as such, reflect the 60 FPS upgrade. Because instead, all the pre-render stuff is still stuck in 480p or 360p. 330 frames, resolution and performance.
Well-
they look and perform fine instead. So
Okay, it's been a while, but I'm pretty sure the game was also 60 FPS on the PS2.
not that I know, and keep in mind, even if it was, that also means that the PAL version was lowered back.
Well, yeah, obviously. Well, that would technically be 50 FPS, which would still technically be better than 30.
I don't.
And it's
Again, I
just-
do not know. And obviously, with an emulator, you can reach that level automatically, but I don't know on what will be considered software mode.
Going back to what I was saying earlier, like I've mentioned before, Gleeman Vox and Ace Hardlight's relationship seems pretty much akin to Drek and
Captain Quark.
Drek and Quark's relationship in the first game, with Drek constantly threatening to replace Quark, essentially. Like, again, Vox feels like, again, he is running this strictly for the money, so when he sees an easy buck, he should go that way. Like, okay, even if he doesn't want to get rid of Ace Hardlight, at least hype up Ratchet and, like, the certain lower classes that he's in before he reaches Ace or whatnot. Like, I don't get it. It seems like he got Ratchet just to try and kill him, but if you kill him easily, doesn't that kind of defeat the purpose of recruiting the best of the best?
I don't know. Anyway, you may notice that I acquired a bunch of new weapons, and again, I think I mentioned in the previous parts, but I still really like also the arsenal for this game. It's still very creative. You get, for example, the flail, which shakes to the ground, even if it's a CQC weapon. It has a decent enough range and an area of effect. You get the hunter mine launcher here. That's its multi-purpose. You can literally toss a bullet to the enemy or leave it on the ground and it can track down, or the fusion rifle, which is very powerful on its own, but it also upgrades with the ice mod, which also makes it extra deadly with the close targets. Again, the thing that I can say positively about the gameplay is that, taking on a surface level, it's still technically, fun for a few bit on its own, and probably for the multiplayer back then. If I was someone who cared about multiplayer experience, I probably would have enjoyed this. And
again,
like with the creativity that Insomniac has with the arsenal, it's still there in some capacity.
I don't think I can think of any game where Insomniac did not cook with the arsenal or
also, look at my ammo count.
Okay.
What the hell was happening?
It seems you have stumbled upon the mystical weapon that can shoot even after it's empty.
What the fuck?
Congratulations, infinite ammo.
I don't remember actually what caused it, because the one that I gave it to it is the morph one, but I don't think that influences me gaining bullets.
I forget if there was an infinite ammo mechanic in this game, but yeah, even still, like you mentioned, it's not like people
with
clicked
glitch
anything.
even after super patch, so it's not too surprising. So.
Hey, at least that's a glitch that can help, I guess.
Yeah, it's kind of like saying, oh, the Mind Track is full of glitches, but at least I became invincible twice, so there's that.
Oh, of course, gaming in the Clinton years would love that.
Well, it came a bit after the show was done.
Well, hence why I said they would love that, But yeah, no, like, Insomniac have never missed when it comes to making creative and varied weapon systems, and like, this game, again, when I played it as a kid, I was able to get through a campaign. It's definitely the Ratchet game I came back to the least of any that I played, though.
Keep in mind, I will agree, but mostly for this franchise, because as I mentioned, the arsenal for Resistance 2, despite having one or two interesting things, is definitely a downgrade compared to 1 and 3 and Retribution.
Oh, it's true, it's a downgrade, but I'd say it at least still managed to have that iconic Insomniac witty sense. Although I will admit, a lot of it was probably pigeonholed into fitting with the styles of the time.
Maybe, yeah, because called aping, that's why, the whole 2-weapon limit and focus on the Magnum as your default platform. But again, 1 and 3, despite having still the bleak tone, did manage to have more of a fun arsenal, despite everything. So I don't know. Again, it feels it was just another not mandate, but another thing that the company wanted to do, the development team wanted to do in order to make it resemble more the military shooters of the time.
Like the Resistance series in general has always felt like that thing that was mandated of Insomniac, because again, while the weapons contain Insomniac's usual wacky sense, the series as a whole definitely feels like it's holding Insomniac back from their strengths. Not to the worst, but, you can tell it could have been better if they'd been given more freedom. Granted, far be it from me to assume that it was all completely pigeonholed. Okay, one thing we do know for certain is, yes, this was a request made by Sony for stuff they do.
And keep in mind that the original pitch that Insomniac had was drastically different. It was about space touring with focusing also sometimes on time travel, and it was much more inspired by Halo.
Welcome to the matchup of a lifetime, Dread Zone fans. Our challenger, known for his exploits in organized crime, his dabbling in the occult, and his hatred of sunshine, puppies, and chocolates, here's Ratchet.
His opponent is a master of disembowelment and a fantastic chef. Ladies and gentlemen, the Eviscerator!
And the Eviscerator, if I recall correctly, doesn't even talk. Reactor and Shell Shock needed something to say, but
She didn't mean that, folks.
yeah, which is just let's just kill this guy. His running cycle is so goofy, but at least he knows how to jump.
Basically, keep your range with him since, you know,
Ouch.
Yeah, his moves literally just consist to how much he can hack and slash you, which doesn't do him much good when you can shoot him from a distance.
Wimsa, what is the name of the Jester character from Pandemonium?
It doesn't come to mind straight. You mean Pandemonium the video?
Yes.
I'll have to check that.
Because I'm kind of getting reminded a bit of that.
His name's Fargus. His name's Fargus the Gesture. Unless you're playing the Japanese version, in which case he's a generic hero called
good guy.
Yeah, he's a generic hero.
John Pandemonium.
John Pandemonium. Well, that's the thing, the Japanese version of Pandemonium, Magical Hoppers, it takes the names and stuff and makes them sound really generic. Like in the Japanese version, they call the main world Amazing Land.
Maybe it's because a lot of their vocabulary can be considered pun-based, but it seems like they typically want a nice, straightforward title. Sometimes to the point where they'll make a title that sounds like a synopsis in and of itself.
Honestly, Pandemonium is another good advocate of how a localization just feels pointless, because I really did not see the point of what they did.
I still can't find the Japanese version's name. Clamp, I think.
That's the name of the authors of a series, Dweebs.
No. Clamp is the Japanese.
I know, I
name
was just
of,
making a joke. Anyway, we unlocked 2 more worlds and we defeated our third Exterminator, which means new armor. This time yellow.
Volcano?
Yeah, that's a tint of
being
orange, I
considered?
guess, but it was more really brown and yellow.
What are you doing?
Anyway, let's.
It is an acceptable
It
risk.
seems we might be able to actually remove the explosive colors. So let's see.
Oh, you're
That's
a
not too
genius! You
bad.
did it! I know.
Oh.
No!
Looks like somebody broke the rules.
Oops.
Put it back on.
You're dead, Ace.
That's good. I like that spirit.
Hey, we even got
Save it for
Ratchet's
the
grudge
arena.
against Ace, just like that grudge he had against
They're
Quark.
clearly building up more having Ratchet more of an excuse to actually hate Ace, because otherwise it would come the fuck out of nowhere. His confrontation with him.
No, Ratchet. Ace
I
Hardlight
mean, I
did
figured
this,
they were gonna have to
and
fight
Demon
anyway,
Fox gave
since
the
this seems
order.
Yeah,
to be
but
our
the thing
surefire
is
way
that
out.
otherwise we will have a Pyro-free situation where, you know, the main hero and one of the bad guys do not even interact with each other. So
Fair point, yeah.
anyway, in the next part we explore at least one of the new planets we unlocked. See ya.
Yep.
See ya.
Yeah.